on your Snapchat story earlier, you just have some mad obsession with benches. What is it, man? Because it's
Not a bad obsession. Okay, let me run you through a couple scenarios. We've just done a full shop at Aldi. Maybe
Okay.
we've got 2 full heavy bags. We're getting through town. These bags are heavy. Are you sitting on a wall? No. If there's a bench there, you can sit down. You can even put the bags on the bench, so you got a little
Yeah,
corner that you can
nice,
sit
good
down
point.
there. Another thing, old people, if they're walking from bingo to home,
Yeah.
they'll want to sit down. They can't walk that far. They'll get a taxi. No, you can sit down on the bench.
Well, this was Fanchu and he loves benches. Hi guys, welcome back to Ravers Guide podcast. Today I'm joined with Fanchu. How you doing today, man?
Good. I'm
Good,
good.
good.
4-hour train journey, but I'm here.
What do you think of Chelmsford?
I'm not gonna return.
Yeah.
They have a good record shop. And,
Yeah.
I spent £75 worth of records.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's good.
Not too bad.
Place.
What do you think of the studio so far?
Yeah, this place is called.
Oh, there you go. That's something at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place is good, man. This is
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, that's good. Just want to start off by saying, how did you first get into drum and bass?
Oh, it's a great question. I keep looking back on when I first started because I thought it was when I went to Ibiza in 2019.
Ibiza?
Yeah, that's where I
Okay.
thought it started. But when I listened to what is it? The old Chasing Status tune. Is it Blind Faith or something?
Blind Faith? Yeah.
Something like that. I didn't know that was drum and bass.
Mm.
So I've been listening to drum and bass as a kid. Didn't know it was that. Went to Ibiza, saw them live, and I just was there into it. And I didn't know the difference between drum and bass line, and house.
Mm.
It's primarily a house island.
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
So I didn't know. I was just going to everything. And then they had Together Tuesdays at Amnesia.
Mhm.
Beautiful. So I saw everyone like Darksea, Skepsis, Manu Leng. They were doing loads of business. And they was like Chasing Status, Wilkinson, Subfocus, Dimensions. So I was seeing them people. Then when I came out of that, went back home into the real world, that was a hard transition, I'll tell you that.
Mm.
When I was doing that, I was listening to other drum and bass, didn't like any of it. And I thought maybe I've drum and bass isn't for me. So then I ended up buying some decks later down the line. And then I just bought
What decks were they?
the Newmark Mix Track Pro 3
Okay.
or something.
Yeah.
This you can only use them on Serato, so I started on Serato
Oh.
first. And then I had everything, all the tunes that I heard there, they were all Shazammed, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Been hand in the air. So they were all Shazammed, and then I'd play just loads and loads of mixes of those tunes. I'd just make loads of Kings of the Rollers stuff I was listening to, and I'd mix it with, I don't know, Chasing Status or something. And then that was the kind of vibe I was making. And then just over time, I forgot to make them private, and I started putting them on stories like, oh, listen to this, and of me mixing, and then people listen to the mix and was like, this isn't actually that bad. So then I kept doing it, and then it just gradually snowballed, and then into I wanted to make a tune because I could hear a tune but it didn't exist. So I wanted to make it exist, made it. And I thought, yeah, it's kind of cool, And now I've kind of gone a full circle where I don't really want to DJ as much as I want to make music now. Which is interesting. I want to make a full album. That's where I'm at now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Have you started something like that yet? Or
I'm trying to get the concepts down because I'm going through a little bit of a rebrand in the new year. So I'm hoping that I can look into that and see if an album makes sense. But also, I'm quite early in the career, so I don't know if doing an album would make sense. It's all strategy. I haven't looked into.
There's lots to
yet,
think
but
about.
I don't really care too much about the strategy side. I want to make a lot of music, a big body of music that I'm proud of. So we'll see where that takes me.
Yeah. So who would you say were like your inspirations when you first started? You mentioned Chasing Status. Is it them?
I think they're the ones getting into it for sure because I didn't know anyone else, and I only saw them on the lineup every time. It was them on the lineup, and then when I came away from it, it was kind of jungly stuff. But main inspirations, they change year by year. Right now, heavy on Sota. Last year I was heavy on AMC purely because I was more DJing and I didn't really care too much about the producing side. Now I'm flipped. So now I'm trying to like listen to music and think, oh yeah, I want to make something similar to this. But then there was stuff like Vibes for a little bit. I really liked their style of, they work together. They know each of their tracks inside out, so they know when to stop talking. And it kind of synergy
Mm.
It was beautiful. Ragga Twins as well. They did when I first saw Ragga Twins. Oh my god, that was crazy. They were just talking to each other and rapping at the same time. There was no mess. It was yeah, that was
Mm.
insane. I gotta say them. Gotta
Mm.
say them for sure.
No, that's fair enough. So I want to take a step away just from drum and bass for a minute. I want to talk about Andy's Man Club because I see
Yeah.
you're involved with that. Can you tell me a bit more about that brand?
Yeah. I joined in April. I lost a dear friend,
Mm.
and then I didn't really look after myself in the right way. I did some
Mm.
silly things, and then my doctor recommended it. I'd heard about it, but I thought I had the old perspective of if you're gonna talk about it, the problem's still gonna be there. I don't see why I should
Mm.
speak about it with anyone because you're not gonna be able to fix it. Went to the first session, ended up just talking for time. They told me to, wrap it up, kind of that. So I just kept talking,
Yeah,
and I've just been there consistently since then. Every Monday at 7, over and over again. And sometimes I've had a great week, and I'll just not say anything and then just be there. It's a really nice routine.
yeah.
The way it works is like it's 5 questions. The first 3 are the same. It's how's your week been, a positive from your week, and then anything to get off your chest, which is tends to be the ranty one.
Mm.
Sometimes they'll rant in between like what they've happened through the week, but that's the
Yeah.
main one. Then we'll go for a break, and then there's 2 more light-hearted questions just to ease up and then leave in a good mood. There's a lot of
Mm.
laughing questions. But yeah, I recommend it to anyone who's going through something because you don't even need to say anything. You can just be there and
Yeah.
listen to what other people are going on. Because weirdly enough, the the age group was a lot older than I thought. So
Mm.
I thought, oh, it's just gonna be loads of kids not knowing how to express themselves. But these people, they're going through it, and it was nice for me to have understand that the perspective's changing and people
Yeah,
are
yeah.
now speaking about it and very
Mm.
open about it. No one was really shy, even their first time coming in. They're just getting onto with it and talking and just
Mm.
being open with it. It's really nice.
No, that's good. So we were talking about your sobriety earlier. Can you
Yeah,
tell us a bit more about that?
yeah. It links in with the same
Mm.
thing. So obviously, I didn't have time when I found out the news about my friend. I didn't have time to grieve properly. I was busy with work and uni,
Mm.
and then I got really really drunk, and I made some silly errors, and yeah, just a bit of a mess really. I thought
Mm.
that was the sign to just stop until we can get it back in moderation. And then I was like 6 months down now,
Mm.
and I don't really have any interest in going back. I
That's
really
very
kind of
good. Yeah.
I thought maybe because I'm getting into my fine dining right now,
Mm.
fine dining back. So I thought maybe if we can learn how to have it in moderation, we can have wine and stuff. But then I thought that's what I did last time because
Mm.
I was messy in Germany. I got booked for Oktoberfest,
Mm.
and then I had a fight with a vending machine when I was really drunk and lost.
Mm.
They kicked me out, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go sober for that." And then I came back with just drinking occasionally, and then it went back into
Yeah, you could
extreme
easily fall
so
back into
yeah,
it. Yeah,
so
100%.
fast as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I thought this time I'm gonna leave it. And then when I go to the raves and stuff now, I've always had the love for the music. The music has been the main reason why I go. So for
Yeah,
now,
that's good. Yeah.
it's just I can still continue. Nothing's changed apart from I'm a little bit more richer now because I don't have to spend £11 on a double. So
Yeah.
it's nice. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone because some people can have it in moderation.
Yeah.
I don't have that skill yet. So for
Yeah.
me, I'm taking that away until I can come back and
No, it's good you realise that,
well,
Like,
I didn't
you,
realize it off my own back. I had to do
yeah,
some
yeah.
silly things and then be like, maybe I shouldn't have
Yeah,
done
well,
that.
that's the thing, things like that. Things come back to bite you, and then you realise from that
Yeah.
what you need to do to
Yeah,
sort it
yeah,
out. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's a good start to the journey, I'd say. Well done on that.
Thank you.
So you learnt your craft through playing music and got some of your tunes played by some big artists. How did you start getting like the opportunities to play at events and stuff?
Oh, it was really annoying.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
How annoying?
So we was at Beaverworks. This is the first one that I remember that I played to a live crowd, and it was what's her name? I think she was called Danielle.
Hmm.
She looked really tired on the decks, and I thought, I've got my USB with me. Let me go on. She said, yeah, no worries. 5 minutes. Hopped on for a little bit, and then the owner came through, saw me, was like, oh, you're pretty cool. So I kept going back and
Oh
then
wow.
trying to
Okay.
see whose set I can squeeze on. And he'd come up to me like, whose set are you trying to get on today? So
Mm.
I don't know. We'll work it out. And then over time, I just built up a nice relationship with him. And I was always respectful. If they said no, I wasn't gonna be like, well, no, let me on. I was like, okay, cool, no worries. And then they just kind of got on there. And then once I got the sets, a lot of promotion involved
Mm.
of me just being a bit weird. I've always got that little edge of like
Mm.
unprofessionalism, I guess you could call it. And
Mm.
then it was just snowballed from there. Old Red picked me up a lot. I was working for them as well.
Mm.
So it's a nice little spot in Leeds. So I was working for them and getting set. So it was kind of another in there. And just I think my first actual set was Old Red.
Okay.
That was on the lineup and everything for that was Old
Mm.
Red. And it kind of went down and over again. And then people saw it, was like, oh yeah, I'd like this. I'd reached out to promoters and stuff.
Mm.
And it was just snowballed in. Entered a lot of competitions,
Yeah.
more competitions
Mm.
than you'd think you need to enter.
Oh, really?
Just over and over. There was times where I would, if I lost the competition, I'd rename the competition and send it to someone else. I'm like,
Oh, really?
yeah, I made this just for you. Please use it.
Easier way of doing things.
Yeah. It saved me time because I was applying to back in the day. I was applying 5 to 6.
Mm.
Whenever I'd see them, I'd just apply. And then I'd forget to apply. And sometimes I got the one for Sigma, Ministry of Sound.
Mm.
I didn't even know. I thought that when I got the email through, I was in Pirate Studios in Manchester. I thought I was being scammed.
Oh,
Because
really?
the guy was saying, "Oh yeah, you've won. Can you get down to London tomorrow?" And I got the email at 1 a.m. I thought
Mm.
that
1
doesn't.
a.m. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
that
bit
doesn't
weird.
sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do it anyway. And I came through it, and everything was legit. It was crazy, and that was a good point for me as well because that was kind of when I was moving into being a little bit more professional. I was kind of being a bit like, oh yeah, I'm just doing it for fun, whatever. And then that was kind of the turning point for me to take it a little bit more seriously.
Mm. Oh, wow. So you've obviously done some parts of Euphoria as well. Can you tell me a bit about that brand, how they operate?
Yeah,
What's it like?
honestly,
Is it like a big family? Or is it
honestly,
just
probably the most like they come correct. The first event they did, I think when I saw the contract and the way they were putting things together, the way they spoke to me, we were mates as well. The way they spoke to me was like completely professional.
Mm.
They was like, "This is what's going to happen. You got this time." All everything was done way in advance, and it was really good. Everything
Mm.
about them is crazy, and the way they've developed as well.
Yeah.
From doing there was Freedom Mills, I think the first one was, and then it moved into some bigger ones, and then bigger ones, and then you thought, oh, maybe they'll go bigger and bigger, and it came back a little bit and was like doing a couple sweatbox sessions and smaller things for the community and having local talent.
So it's nice, yeah.
Yeah, so they've got every side of it, and then even now the lineup in November, crazy
Mental.
AMC, and it's what like the third or fourth or fifth event they've done,
Yeah.
and they're pulling in names like that. It's crazy, and they've got such a professionalism about them that it just keeps it moving. I'm very excited for them. Yeah, I'm very privileged to be able to play for them as well.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about earlier, like, I'm in the Telegram and the lineup just wouldn't bloody stop, would it?
Yeah, and
Like,
they
it was
kept
just
announcing.
headliner. Like, I was just like, Jesus Christ, is this a new rave or something? Like,
Yeah,
it's just going to go off, man. It's going to go
100%.
You excited to
100%.
blow?
I'm very excited. I've got a new intro tune that I'm
Oh,
working
have
on.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's gonna be obviously we released the other one, Candyland. That's just came out, and I've now set myself a little standard to beat. So we'll see how it goes. I've got the first intro idea sorted down, but I'm gonna do the same annoying thing as last year when I was saying on my story every day, I've got a new intro tune. I've got a new intro tune. Same thing is gonna happen. Maybe a bit more annoying this time, but it's gonna be silly. Yeah.
Oh, well, make sure you get your tickets for that because it's going to be mental.
And we're almost sold out too, you know. I think we're on third release right now, so cop them when you can.
There you go, be quick. So you were telling me earlier that you're a part of Hospital's mentorship for the year. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
That was crazy as well. I didn't think I was going to get that. And I just applied ages ago, sent a tune with Leisha, it's called Stay Bright, and we made that tune. It was a beautiful tune, one of my favorites. And I sent that over to them. And then they just emailed me being like, yeah, you've got it for the year. And I didn't really know what it meant. So I've got them since January, and then obviously it ends in December. And I've just got access to the whole team like I was an artist signed with them. So I've learned so much about the industry. I've met some great artists. I've learned a little bit of stuff about the more boring side, I guess, of the legal and publishing and stuff.
What artists have you met from there?
Sub 10. I
Okay.
don't know if you've heard of him as MC. He's the main one. I made a tune with him. And then we've got Fred V, Unglued. I had a little bit of a relationship with Unglued before, but that really developed with them as well. Yeah. And it was, really nice to meet the team and also to understand certain parts I didn't know about before. I had to learn about the publishing. All this stuff I thought I knew, and I just I did not.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a really really good opportunity that I got there.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a place you can learn something from, which is good.
Yeah.
So, looking back at your career, is like anything you'd like maybe do different, something you change, or are you just happy with how you just fell into it all?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
It's been very organic. Nothing's come about where I thought this needs to happen. This is the end goal.
Mm,
The end goal kind of changes a little bit, and I'm moving into new parts.
mm.
But I wish maybe that I'd be more present and understand where I've came from, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I've not. Whenever I get to a new place or a new goal, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, cool, goal achieved. What's the next one? Rather than being like, we've
Yeah.
achieved it. We've been working towards this for a while,
Mm.
and then maybe be a bit more grateful and then move on rather than just, oh yeah, cool, we're done it now. Next one.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. I was starting to do that a little bit more now with every set to to make sure that I'm being grateful still.
Yeah, yeah, no,
I
that's
don't
good.
want to lose that part of it because that's
Yeah,
at the
100%.
end of the day, the people that are coming to see you, you have to make sure that you're coming correct as well.
Oh, yeah, always. So, what would you say? What's next for you? Like, have you got new releases coming up? Any new events you want to promote?
Yeah, so well, other than the Euphoria event in
Hmm.
November, I've got a release coming for Halloween. I'm unsure what that's going to be, but it could be 4 tracks, could be two, could be one. I don't know yet. It depends on how fast I get them finished, basically.
Yeah.
One's done, and we'll see if another one makes sense.
How long does it take you to finish a free
Oh,
tune?
well, it
Is
depends.
some easier than others?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, some of them just fall and basically produce themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got my guy Testament. We make a lot of tunes together. Every time we make a tune, the whole idea is done in a day,
Mm.
maybe 4 hours. It's done, and then we just work on it down, make it better. And that can be anything. Sometimes we came in the last one we just made playing games. We made it as an intro tune for an event we did in Hi-Fi,
Mm.
and that was supposed to be a hip hop inspired tune to turn into something crazy.
Oh,
And
really?
and it's a nice blend of sounds. For that one, didn't take long. It took maybe 6 hours for the whole thing to more or less finished.
Mm.
Other tunes take months. The Stay Bright tune, one of the favorites I made, I had so much. I put so much emotion into
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I didn't feel like it was ready. It would have been if I
Yeah.
released
You
it.
wanted it to be perfect. Yeah,
Yeah. So it was
100%.
maybe 10 months of me just
Oh, wow.
constantly refining.
It's long, yeah.
Yeah, and then when Lisa put the vocals down, she came back and then kept changing these bits and was like,
Mm.
"Oh yeah, we should take that bit out. We should change this." And then we'd listen again and be like, "Ah, no, maybe we should." And it was that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
iteration over and over. So it was really hard to put it in. But sometimes if I'm proper locked in, or if I make myself
Mm.
lock myself in the studio for 8 hours, I will make something.
Yeah.
But
I
I don't
mean,
know
if you've
what that
got a
is.
love for a tune that much, you want to perfect it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So I
yeah,
understand that a
exactly.
lot. But so after just talking about all that, what's like a tip you'd give to someone just coming out?
DJ or producer,
Both.
both. Okay, DJing wise, I would say my favorite tip is to make your session when you're like have training sessions, I call them, where like
Mm.
you just mess around and get the blend wrong, or got the filter on, or you've pressed the Q button.
Mm.
Realize how you behave in that scenario, and then when it happens live, you won't be bothered, and
Yeah,
you
that's a
can.
very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the main one I do is I'll get a blend in nicely, and I'll just keep taking it out and hear it.
Mm.
Because if I can hear, if it's slightly out, you can sometimes miss it when it's live. But
Mm.
if you've trained your ears to hear the slightest, even the hi hat, just a little bit out, you'll get so much better.
Mm.
So have these training sessions of just getting things slightly wrong and fixing them, and then just being a bit, well, I got it wrong, it's fine, no problem, and then just keep it moving. Because if you announce to the crowd that you've got something wrong, whether that's a
They're gonna remember it the whole time.
yeah, and they're gonna
Yeah,
see it and
yeah.
like, oh yeah, that was a bit crazy. But sometimes they just won't hear it. Ravers don't hear what DJs do.
Oh yeah, nah.
Yeah, it's like,
100%. They just,
yeah.
know what I mean?
And producing
Mm.
wise, well, I don't know because I'm still kind of midway through that. I
Well, we can say it as like what's something you're just learning now, which you wish you knew when you started producing.
making a lot of sounds and then
Mm.
resampling the sounds.
Okay.
I think because I'm doing
Yeah.
that a lot. Because originally I thought to make a tune, you got to get everything. You got to make all the bass yourself, and then that's it. But then I saw the AMC interview.
Mm.
Is it AMC? Yeah, and he uses TC's presets
Okay.
as the starting point rather than the
Mm.
original. When you open up the plugin, it'll be like that. He uses a preset and then adjusts the preset so you can't hear what it was originally.
Mm.
And there's just so many different ways of making stuff and resampling things that it's not one way fits all kind of thing. So
Mm.
using that, if you get a little bit lost, maybe try a different resampling thing,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
might be able to continue with the tune.
Okay. Very smart tip, to be fair.
Smart, thank you.
So, you played at a few venues. Like, what's been your favourite so far? Would you say?
Mm. Ministry of Sound. I
Yeah,
got
I've never been there. What's it
yeah,
like?
it's
Is it
crazy.
big in there?
Yeah, yeah, and
They've got like three
the
rooms, haven't they?
think so.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, they've got a little hip hoppy type room as
Mm.
well, and then they've got the main room which has a custom built speaker set up for it.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you stand in the middle, it's perfect sound. They've made
Oh,
all the
wow.
speakers for
Okay.
that room. That's crazy. And then the room two doesn't feel like a room two because when you
Mm.
walk through the doors, you got the lockers on your side and stuff. You walk straight through into it.
Mm.
That's room two. Where the bar is, that's room two, and
Oh,
you're on this balcony thing. So that you
okay.
kind of feel like, yeah, you're all
Yeah.
coming to see you for a bit, and if they go for a drink, then I'll listen to you.
Mm.
And I thought, yeah, that whole thing was crazy.
It's a good
Green
setup,
room was
yeah.
crazy. The itinerary thing they sent me,
Mm.
I was like, yeah, I just won a competition, but you're
Mm.
treating me like I've just been booked for this. Yeah,
So, what competition was that you
it
won?
was a Sigma one.
Oh, the second one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they did. I don't know what it was. I can't remember how I even replied. I
Mm.
just sent loads of stuff out, like I was saying before, and then they got back to me, and then I went down, and they sent me all this stuff, and it was really cool to be honest.
Mm.
I felt a nice little touch of what's to come, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good. So, what's been like your favourite release so far? Maybe which you played at that set,
Mm.
or like just from
Wow.
now?
Well, I mean, my favorite all-time release that I've done so far is "Stay Bright" for sure with Leisha.
Yeah, yeah.
Just something about because we both made that tune with different ideas in mind.
Mm.
So for me, it was when I was going to Bridlington with my nan
Mm.
and hearing the beach noises and the waves and enjoying that nostalgic feeling. And then Leisha came from a point of being at a festival and being with your friends, and it works so nicely. I
Merged
obviously
together,
I
well,
put
yeah.
9 months worth of tune like of
Yeah,
work
yeah.
into it, so I'm gonna be a bit biased. But yeah, I think that's my favorite one. And
Mm.
then now the Candyland tune for sure because that
Mm.
intro is crazy
Mm.
and it fell together so nicely. I got this girl Alina May.
Mm-hmm.
We had like this little session of like, oh, basically it's not singing, it's voice acting.
Mm.
And then she put this accent on, and then I made her sound really crazy and all distorted. Yeah, the whole thing. That was
Okay.
such a fun time. And then the first time I showed Hospital the tune, they were like, "Oh, what's this sample?" I was like, "It's no sample. I made it myself." And I was like, "Yeah,
That's the flex.
that's Grease. That's Grease."
100%. So what would you say is like one thing you love doing at raves, like the performing? Like, do you like the crowd reactions, playing your new tunes, meeting new people there?
A bit of everything.
Bit of everything, yeah.
Because whenever I go, if I'm even booking or not, I'll be there early just so I can be there for the whole thing. So if I'm paying for a ticket, I want to enjoy the whole of it because I paid for it. And if I'm playing there, I want to see what other people are playing and what the crowd's kind of saying to it, so I can adjust the set a little bit. But when I'm up there, I just enjoy people giving it what
Mm.
for. If they're dancing, I'm dancing as well.
Yeah.
Probably dancing harder than you, to be fair.
Yeah.
I do enjoy.
As long as the knee isn't going out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the backs.
Yeah.
I'll sit down and mix for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing, and then meeting people because sometimes, as of late, with all the merch that I've been putting out,
Mm.
people have been coming to the shows with the merch on as well.
That's very cool.
And it's just really nice. They had a Kelvin 373 one at Hi-Fi,
Mm.
and I thought maybe there's going to be a lot of Born on Road stuff, but there was a couple of Born on Road, and then there's a couple of people wearing my stuff, and I thought that's really nice.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy speaking to those people and understanding like that's crazy because it's all crazy to me. This was
Yeah.
supposed to be just a little bit of fun, and then now it's all I can think about. Type.
No, it's good that you have time for it as well. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
you seem like one
100%.
of the people. Like, if you're performing at a rave, you're not just performing; you're in the crowd
Yeah.
with the ravers,
Yeah,
as
well, I
well,
mean,
which is very good.
Yeah, you don't want to take yourself away because then you put a little hierarchy and then you're better than
exactly.
them.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way because it's not DJing itself isn't that difficult to get into.
Mm.
So if you're treating people like, oh, I'm better than you,
Yeah,
if
it's not
you
it.
give them 6 months, they'll be able to compete with you. So you just want to make sure you're just nice to everyone as well. And the raves are the only scene that I've been in music that I've found that people just there are really nice.
Mm.
Other scenes are a little bit more cliquey and a bit more aggressive or just don't really want to speak to you at all. Whereas this one's where everyone's kind of dancing.
Yeah.
If you spot someone's dancing, you're now best friends for that little bit of time. Yeah, it's really nice.
So with like recognition being like such a big thing in this scene now, is anyone you can put out to us who's just like upcoming in your eyes?
Yeah, Testament. Release more music. Release more. This guy, man, his production is crazy, but then he's not doing anything about it. But he's just released a new tune, Nostalgia, on Fracture Records, and
What's that tune like?
it's a 160 tune, and
Okay.
it starts off with a jungle-y type beat, and I thought, yeah, this is cool, and then it goes into this vocal, this weird sweeping effect, and then this beautiful drop, and it's sick. He's a very talented guy. He doesn't think so, but you know what I'm saying. You need to know about Testament, man. He makes some great music, and then DJing wise, ooh, so many options.
Yeah, there's so many like names coming out of nowhere at the minute, isn't there?
It's crazy. Who did I see the other week?
Is there like anyone from Leeds upcoming who you've met and you're like, oh, got to keep an eye out for him?
I mean, obviously Euphoria, like they're doing business. Fonzo from Leeds. I like his energy. His music's good.
Yeah.
Like whenever he's DJing, I'm like, yeah, I can get behind this. Yeah, there's people like that. There's a lot of talent in Leeds.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard the phrase "everyone's a DJ in Leeds," but it's pretty true.
I realise.
There's loads of great talent there. Yeah.
So on like a day off, like what'd you get up to? What'd you do?
Depends really. At the moment, I've set myself a challenge to read 30 books in a year. I'm on, I think, book 20 or 21.
What book is it?
This one's called Dopamine Nation or something. It's basically, I think the caption says how our addiction to pleasure is causing us pain. Quite interesting, to be fair. It's kind of our addictions and how we navigate those. And with the whole access of everything being instant, we're losing all this. It's quite interesting, to be fair. Other than that, I'm trying to get back into the gym because ever since I did the AMC 3 hour show in Troxy, when I went there to rave, and he did not move. He did not stop the whole time. All 3 hours, he just kept moving. I had just to take breaks. I thought, yeah, maybe the cardio needs to improve. So we're doing that. And then nothing much. Obviously, I'm still doing uni. I've got another year left of uni. So I've got to like nerd out a little bit. But yeah, that's the.
So what are you studying at uni?
I'm doing my master's in music production now last year. But this one is more about theory. So it's not so much production, which kind of gives me more time to make music.
That's good, yeah.
So it's either or. So
you can 50-50 it pretty well then.
Yeah, exactly.
So as we're coming to the end of the podcast, I want to ask a funny question. So on your Snapchat story earlier, you just have some mad obsession with benches. What is it, man? Because it's
not a mad obsession. No.
Like, where's the bench?
Okay, let me run you through a couple scenarios here, right? So we've just done a full shop at Aldi. Maybe we've got 2 full heavy bags.
Yeah.
We're walking back. It's a nice day. We're getting through town. These bags are heavy. Are you sitting on a wall? No. If there's a bench there, you can sit down. You can even put the bags on the bench, so you got a little there. You can sit down there. Another thing, old people, if they're walking from bingo to home, they'll want to sit down. They can't walk that far. They'll get a taxi. No, you can sit down on the bench. Another reason. Let me.
You're proper getting into it.
Yeah, you started. I like my benches.
Go ahead.
Another reason. Sometimes you could meet someone on the bench. You just chat whatever.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Exactly. And that builds community, And as well, the thing that I'm annoyed with in Leeds, because obviously I walk around Leeds a lot, I see them take benches away. And that's kind of where it started for me. I was like, why are you taking this bench away? And then they've been doing all these anti-homeless benches. I'm like, that annoys me. Put more benches in Leeds. And then I've spotted it around and it kind of just grows into...
Yeah, it's coming to this big thing now.
Yeah.
Have you got a favourite bench?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
You got so excited then.
I don't know how to describe them, but as you sit in them, you kind of go back.
Okay.
And you kind of sit, you kind of lean into it, and your legs it just feels like this. Like that kind of...
Okay, nice little wave, yeah.
Yeah. So you just sit there and that's comfortable. Yeah. Even though it's a metal bench, it's comfortable. That's one of my favourites.
Well, this was Fanchu and he loves benches. But yeah, well, thank you for coming down today. It's great for people to see another side of you and everything.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode.